Hey guys, I recently haven't been doing many like typical drama videos. I feel like it's all been quite commentary. I'm just going back to my roots. But today we have an update on a story that I wanted to talk to you guys about. It's kind of recent drama that's been happening and I think it's really interesting. I do have another video about it that I'm gonna have to link in the description, but I will recap just ever so slightly if you can't be bothered to watch the other video. So subscribe to the bell icon for engagement. Let's get into it. Illuminati, also known as Blair, is a commentary type YouTuber who makes videos about kind of companies or problematic organizations in some capacity, kind of that stuff. And she posts pretty much daily these like analysis videos, which means that she has a whole team. She has editors, researchers, the whole thing. And recently she was called out for not being a great person, and this all started from her calling out Legal Eagle, who is a lawyer commentator that comments on law related stuff in the news or on the internet, and she called him out for copying her style of editing, which people dragged her because it wasn't anything super original, which I did speak about in my original video, but I didn't think it was a cancelable offense until her ex-friends came out to discuss the things that she has done to them, mainly Wonderstruck and The Click, which, so they both posted their own respective videos about it that I will also link in the description because there's a lot there. The Click was the one that posted a video first, even though they were all kind of making threads on Twitter. They both also filmed videos about it. She filmed an apology video where she continued to drag them and tried to paint them out in a bad light. So they obviously had to defend themselves. Like, I don't really know what the intention with all of that was, because they obviously were going to defend themselves, and defend themselves they did. So The Click posted about how he was part of her collab channel called Sad Milk, why he left, and how that then led her to pull a Creepshow art and pay people to go through his past content to look for problematic stuff to cancel him for. And then she would create like dummy accounts on Reddit or Twitter under different names to expose him, because she didn't want to do it from her account, because publicly she was like cordial with him, like civil, but then she still wanted to drag him for leaving the collab channel. So she would pay people to look through his content, look for problematic stuff, and then post on Reddit under a different name. That is ridiculous. That's literally what Creepshow Art did with all her old friends, and like a lolcow, which was like a forum for trashing content creators. And it's ridiculous that someone can be friends with you and then just betray you, but then like you're also not really friends because you're online friends, but that is a friendship in this day and age. And it just feels like this weird betrayal of like, did I ever even know who you are? And they did have a collab channel together, so you know. And then Wonderstruck posted a video and he actually lived with her, so he's got more of a concrete, like, he knows her. He worked for her a bit. She bought him a car that she held over his head even though he didn't ask for one. She let him stay in the house, but then tensions were tense and he felt like he needed to move out. She also weaponized his mental health against him. So clearly just not a good person. And what I said in my video is she sounds like someone who is a massive control freak, feels the need to have people depend on her, whether it be for a job, for a place to live, like I said, a car, like something that he didn't really ask for but she pushed upon him. And it feels like she's always doing things that will then lead her to having control over someone. Like even with the collab channel that they had, she would pay for all the editors or do the editing or like do stuff for the collab channel, which just seems like, okay, so you wanted to have control over that, so you were editing or getting editors or yada yada. But then she would turn around and be like, oh my god, you guys are doing nothing to contribute to this channel. And it's just this typical like control freak, someone who just constantly in control, needs to be in control, but then complains about the fact that they're always in control and then holds that over other people's head. I don't know. That was just my interpretation of her as a person, even though I've never met her. I have talked to her in the past through DMs. She has actually been very kind to me through situations that I've gone through, but I can't then go on and defend this behavior because it's crazy, like it's weird, right? It's slightly unhinged. So the thing is, all of this went down on Twitter. So she, like I said, accused Legal Eagle. People started dragging her. Then her old friends came out with Twitter threads. And then she posted her apology video, right? And that one got a lot of views, but a lot of dislikes as well. And then Wonderstruck and The Click made their respective videos, which definitely painted a different light. And they had a lot of evidence, so people definitely believed them more than her. And then she went radio silent when it comes to the situation. But she has still been posting on YouTube every day. So she just went back to regular business dealings. And people are like, are you actually gonna leave this unturned? Or like, what's the deal here? Like, what are we doing? Are we supposed to just move on? Are you moving on? Is everyone supposed to move on? I don't know. But on the 26th of May, which is 4 days ago as I'm filming this, she posted on Twitter and she got 150 likes on the original tweet, but 153 quote retweets, which if you know that, like when you see a tweet on Twitter that has either equal amounts of quote tweets or more quote tweets than likes, then you know that that person's getting dragged through the mud. She said, hey everyone, I am fully aware of the recent false allegations that have surfaced, I want to take a moment to publicly state that I am taking these allegations seriously and I'm committed to rectifying this situation promptly and appropriately. I understand the concerns and potential impact that these false allegations have caused. My team and I are actively working behind the scenes to gather all relevant facts. I am committed to transparency and accountability throughout this process. Rest assured that I am taking decisive action to address this situation. I'll provide updates and communicate any necessary actions as soon as possible. Thank you to those who are standing by me during this challenging time. I will not allow these false allegations to be weaponized as a way to silence my voice. I appreciate your patience and understanding during this challenging time. I am dedicated to upholding my channel's values and delivering on our commitments. I'm confident that the truth will prevail. Sincerely, Blair Zon. This statement sounds like it was low-key written by a lawyer. Like, this feels like a very professional statement, and it's written in a way, I don't know, it just doesn't seem very like a natural response that you would just write in the heat of the moment. It definitely she's definitely been talking to lawyers, and that's spoiler alert, she's definitely been talking to lawyers, probably in between her explanation video and the videos that came out against her. She's been talking to a legal team of sorts, and this sounds like something that they would have sent to her to be like, hey, put this out publicly if you want a statement. Like, maybe she asked them, like, can I get a statement from you guys that I could put out publicly until I resolve things? So internet anarchists replied to that and said, you really should have taken the Sunny V2 approach of ghosting the drama and continuing the usual uploads, which I actually, in my last video, this isn't the most ethical way to go about drama, but it definitely is the most profitable way to go about drama these days, is not to say anything and then let people just move on to the next thing and forget about you. And then whoever wants to watch your videos, they continue to watch your videos, but you haven't really addressed it, so no one really knows. I feel like the moment you address stuff, it makes maybe you look like a good person, but a lot of people then use that as an excuse to continue the drama. So yeah, Sunny V2, for example, got dragged recently, lost a bunch of subs, but he never addressed the drama. He never did a video apologizing for anything, which would have been a good person thing to do, but he never did. And then he's just been posting videos since, and he's actually gone back to gaining subscribers, because if he doesn't bring attention to it, then his core audience might not come across the drama and they'll just continue to watch his content. Whereas giving people something to react to brings attention to it, right? But then there's the ethical thing of if you feel like you messed up, you should apologize. You should say, hey, I messed up and I want to rectify the situation. It's money over being a good person, I guess. What do you So Sunny V2 picked I'm just gonna go about my business and you guys will not hear from me. Illuminati tried to save face because she felt like maybe she could get a good response out there into the wild, and that definitely didn't go the way she wanted it to go, and she has now probably lost around 200,000 subscribers. So that's the two aspects of things. I'm assuming she has had a legal team since then, and they probably gave her the statement to put out, because once she already spoke out, then she has to continue speaking out, whereas Sunny V2 never spoke out, so he doesn't have to continue speaking out because it's done. He didn't say anything. There's nothing to respond to because he didn't respond. That was a long-winded way to say you can either choose to address stuff head on and feel good about yourself in your moral standings, or you can choose to pick the efficient route on the internet of not addressing anything ever and just going about your everyday business. And that just depends on what kind of person you are. Someone said, can't wait to see you on my YouTube feed for the next 2 weeks. Ratio time, everybody. There's a picture of Phoebe on my phone. And Wonderstruck actually tweeted out on the 27th, so a day after Blair's statement on Twitter, and said, Blair, aka Illuminati, just sent me a cease and desist for speaking out against her abuse. I will not be silenced. So like I said, spoiler alert, she was definitely talking to a legal team in between that whole time, and they were probably telling her, do not address it, just continue about your business while we sort out what we think will work behind the scenes. And then they gave her an official statement, and from now on, I think she will only address the drama in a legal way. So she will not film another video unless it's approved by her lawyers. She will not say anything other than cease and desist or legal statements. I think now that she has gone down the legal route, she can't just talk about stuff, because that goes against the legal side of things. Someone also made a really good point in Wonderstruck's replies and said that he could go to Legal Eagle and get him to represent him, since he is a lawyer that still practices law, which would be such a funny full circle moment for everyone, because they started with the Legal Eagle drama, so to then end it with the Legal Eagle would be kind of funny and kind of meta. I think it would just be kind of interesting. I wonder if the Legal Eagle would be down for that, just to make everything go full circle, but that's my drama brain thinking that would just be kind of funny. But obviously this is a super serious situation. I feel so bad for Wonderstruck, because he already made that move to put everything out there, put his face out there, put his story out there, for her to now send legal cease and desist and not address it publicly. And legal battles in this kind of situation are very difficult, because how do you prove certain things? You can't prove people's intent or how they treated you and what's legal and what isn't, and it's just opening up the situation. It's just not a legal matter. This is very much a personal matter, and it's difficult to address it in the legal system. I think Blair knows that by bringing in lawyers, she's going to scare some people into not speaking out about her, because they don't have proof of the way that she treated them, or they don't have proof that she shouted at them on this exact day, and it's going to silence some people because they're not going to want to go through with legal battles battles that they know they can't win because it's very difficult to prove certain situations in real life, and also because Illuminati has a lot of money, because her channel was getting a bunch of views for a while, so she definitely makes a lot of money, and she could definitely just beat them into silence through just finances, because you have to pay up front for lawyers a lot of the time. So even when you win the case at the end and the people pay you back, you still need the money up front to pay the legal costs. I guess that's how it works with most lawyers. Some people will just take a cut of the winnings. So yeah, I think this is a really interesting situation. Oh, also, HelloFresh actually dropped her as a sponsor. A lot of her videos, well, all of her videos are sponsored, and HelloFresh was one of her sponsors that she had on a pretty regular basis. And someone tweeted out, Hot Stuff Henley on Twitter said, at HelloFresh, we ask nicely that you stop doing ads with this evil person. She gave her mum cancer, for God's sake, and posts people's suicide letters online, at Illuminati. Ridiculous tweet to make. This also speaks to cancel culture and how people take things way too far. I also want to talk about this because I think it's super valid to be angry at Blair, to never watch her content again, even to unsubscribe. I think all of that is completely valid in this situation. But when you take things this far and say that she gave her mum cancer, unless I'm out of the loop and I don't know something, I know that's supposed to be like sarcastic and no one was supposed to take that seriously, but clearly someone did. HelloFresh. It then crosses that line where the person we're cancelling now becomes the victim. And I hate getting to that point in drama. I hate when people rightfully call someone out for bad behavior, but because a certain few people take things too far, that person then goes from being rightfully accused of something to then becoming the victim because people have taken it too far. It's happened with James Charles a lot. James Charles was rightfully accused of things, but then because people took it too far, he then became the victim, which actually made it more difficult because he was still in the wrong. But then we couldn't call him out because now he's the victim because people took it too far. So I think with cancel culture, there's that balance of things of like, how do you cancel someone like for doing something wrong without muddying the waters and making that person become the victim? I don't know if that made any sense, but I just think making false allegations is one of those ways we can muddy the waters and make that person the victim. Because now I'm having to defend Blair and like, I don't particularly want to. So no, she didn't give her mom cancer as far as I'm concerned. And HelloFresh US responded to that tweet and said, thank you for bringing this to our attention. We have stopped working with this creator and will not be working with them in the future. I know a lot of people have this, thing about never like attack someone's sponsors or someone's money. I think there are many situations in which you can go after someone's sponsors and still be in the right. I think when someone's committing crimes or has been like confirmed to have committed a crime, then yeah, sure, they don't deserve to make money. But I think in this case, I don't know, this was a very weird statement to make. And they've actually responded a few times to a few different tweets. So yeah. That's basically the whole update. She has been dropped by one of her sponsors. Her views are lower. She has lost 200,000 subs. She is doing the legal route of things after trying the addressing things route. I'm waiting for more, I guess, to go down, to happen, to find out more about this. So subscribe to the bell icon for engagement. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.